Welcome back yet again to the Brojo Valued Living series, and today we're going to be talking about the value of curiosity, which my book Nothing to Lose is all about. So what is curiosity? Other names could be openness, you could use the word learning, naivete, anything where you're open to having your mind change, having your beliefs updated, having your skills improved. Yeah? Without learning, there is death. Without learning, there is no adaptation, there is no evolution, and therefore you stay still. And as soon as you stay still, you already become outdated. You can see this in people who have become locked up in their beliefs from childhood, people who are attached to outdated systems of doing things, or outdated rules and beliefs, how left behind they are as the rest of the world moves on. This is somebody who refuses to evolve, and in the longer term, this is the death of a species or a family or whomever. So it starts with an acceptance of knowing that you don't know anything for certain. This is an old Socrates philosophy. The only thing we know for sure is that we know nothing for sure. And that is, no matter how certain you are about something, while it's totally okay to move forward with certainty, is to allow that 1% door to be open that you might be wrong. And always open to the idea that there is a better way. Because there always is. No matter how well you do something, no matter how clean your mind appears to be, there's always a better way. And curiosity is the acceptance of that. Knowing that you don't know it all yet. And you never will. So you hold on to your answers lightly when you're living by the value of curiosity. Whatever you think the truth is, you're open to it being changed by more compelling evidence. You'll hold on to it for now, you'll use it for what it's worth, you'll express it as you currently know it. You can still be honest while still not knowing for certain what certainty is. But you're always questioning, you're always trying to improve your knowledge, your wisdom. You always see yourself as the student with more to learn. Practically, it can be 2 or 3 different concepts. One I've got here, challenging a previously held belief. So you can take something that you think is true and then go put it to the test with scientific method. You can go out and experiment with beliefs that you've been holding on to see if your experiments provide counter evidence or at least enhance the knowledge that you already have. So an example of this, I used to believe that going up to strangers and talking to them was a bad thing to do. So then I went up to 100 strangers and talked to them and realized that that belief was completely faulty and totally incorrect and based on no evidence whatsoever. Then there's the idea of, rather than actively seeking a challenge, is opening yourself up to understanding something better that you think you already know. So this is a great one for, say, dealing with people you might consider to be your enemies, is trying to understand their position rather than fighting against them. Is understanding that everybody who does whatever they do has a good reason in their minds for doing it. And even if you disagree with that reason, if you hate them, it's because you don't understand the reason. You don't sympathize or empathize with it. You don't see why they got to that conclusion. So curiosity can be simply opening up in empathy and understanding to something that you've been fighting against. This could be inviting somebody who disagrees with you to really explain to you why they disagree with you, not just the content, which you already disagree with, but how they came to that content, where this came from for them. For example, for me, I learned to become accepting of people who have religious beliefs because I learned where those beliefs came from. As much as those beliefs seem ludicrous to me and completely unsupported by evidence, I understand now, being raised in a community where there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of sense of belonging when you go to church and wanting to cling to the ideals of that so that you never feel alone. That I understand now. And now I don't hold it against someone for being religious, for believing in something that doesn't have evidence. I understand that there's a deeper reason for doing so, that they're trying to protect a sense of belonging. And next is stepping into the unknown to challenge an expectation. A great example happened for me last night. I was going to an event with my girlfriend. I really didn't want to go to the event. I expected it to be obnoxious and loud and really just what I didn't feel like. And it ended up being a really fun social connection with new people who I thought really highly of. So all I had to do was walk towards that event and allow reality to change my mind, to know that what I expected to happen was almost certainly going to be wrong, at least a little bit. And you can do this with starting a confrontation with someone, with reading a book, watching a movie, anything you think's going to suck. Allow it to at least suck in real life rather than living with the expectation and not testing it. The opposite to living with curiosity is a refusal to listen to alternative viewpoints or alternative sources of evidence, avoiding evidence that contradicts your beliefs, attacking naysayers as enemies rather than hearing them out to make sure they haven't got something that might enhance your wisdom. And of course, the worst one, considering yourself a master who has no room for improvement. If you believe you know it all, you couldn't be further from living by the value of curiosity. If you believe that ultimately we are all naive children, students, and always will be students with more to learn, then you understand what living by the value of curiosity really is. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time for the next installment of the Brojo Valued Living series. Cheers.